comes up on top is going to have a little bit more points. And currently, Team Myanmar is 1 game ahead against Team Laos. A little bit of the adaptations are coming in from Team Laos, and hopefully things are going to be for the better. However, now, as you can see, Lexi is going to be left uncontested, but you can see the aggressiveness of the Selena is going to push Myanmar back. And this is what I'm talking about as well. I love this early aggression.
Yeah, they change 180 degrees in terms of draft. And as of right now, how they play right now, the Fanny is going in, focusing on Jenny, and right now going to the orange buff. Laos is just like, you know what, we're going in, we just like, I don't know. I love this. I love this.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing they can do against Fanny. Like, it's going to take a little bit more time. You can even see PS was forced to switch up his rotation so that the Fanny doesn't get invaded. So that's going to be an easy orange buff for it, but I don't know. It feels like Team Myanmar is going to have a little bit of a rough time.
And he has to be careful because Meno is actually winning that 1v1 for now. However, in the bottom side of the map, it looks like Clint is actually winning. So Biston, it looks like in this current matchup where a Clint going up against a Beatrice is going to lose in the early stages of the game, or it is against these two nations respectively. For now, in terms of the rotation, I want a little bit more aggressiveness coming in from Laos, but as of right now, I just feel like they're still testing the waters. They still want to see what can and cannot they do.
Oh, this is going to be tough, but here comes the stab as well. Gomi immediately drops down towards half health, needs to back off. He's so afraid that even though the Fanny is not there, he is going to be opting a recall, but looks like based on the minion himself, he is going to be choosing to stay now. With Fanny on the bottom of the map as well, he's slowly making his way, making an opportunity for sure. But up on screen, you can see the arrow doesn't seem to connect on Vino. Seems like there is going to be a wet noodle fight as of yet. Unless Black has something to say.
Yeah, he has nothing to say. It's just like, yeah, just do whatever you're going to do. And right now, it's easy for Lexi. Once he has his Blade of Heptases, it's gonna go down. It's gonna be very, very scary. And right now, Black going to the front, trying to actually push Laos away from this turtle.
Oh no, Black.
Is this a good idea? First blood, and Black is gonna go down. And looking over here, the turtle is still there. They're still going for the fight. Minnow going in, trying to take out Laos, or actually trying to stall them out. Fanny going in, missing a few cables, trying to get the kill. Takes a while, but still, Laos managing to get the second kill of this fight.
Yep, and that is going to be Team Laos going for the pressure as well. As you can see, the Fanny does have half energy. They're looking for the wall spam coming in. Laos be trying to set up for the team. Unfortunately, Team Myanmar is not going to overcommit, but at the same time, it's so unfortunate for Black. We saw the flicker coming from Black heading into his Team Laos direction. He was like a pixel away from hitting level 4.
Exactly.
And if he got the fatal links, that would have been an opening that Myanmar needed. Unlucky.
In that situation, he was a little bit too optimistic. He's like, I'm pretty sure.
It was one pixel away.
It was just one pixel away. And
oh my goodness.
It was almost a super, like a 3 million IQ play. Yep. But again, timing is super important. Exactly. And right now, Laos and Myanmar, this is a more explosive play compared to the games before. But right now, they're slowing down a little bit more again. And I want to see, so how does he do with this Selena pick? As of right now, not doing too much, I guess.
I guess it's all about the steel bait, but looks like they will get an ambush coming in. Black will finally pulling off the Selena, who's been oppressing the way through. But Jenny, however, is going to go in for the fight against Jack, and I'm surprised Jack not opting to trade for the Eve. He is going to play the safety net, and he is going to back off. So interesting enough, Team Myanmar, they will have a little bit of redemption points when it comes to building up economy. As you can see, they are going to be grouping up a little bit more, as we haven't seen too much of the Fanny yet from Too Easy for Lexi. But before that, let's take a look at the items real quick on how far they've progressed.
Yeah, right now looking at Fanny, he opted for a Hunter Strike, so yes, there's a lot of penetration there. I would still prefer the Blade of Heptases build just so that you can one-shot anyone. And speaking of which, right now he's trying to one-shot, and he one-shot Black. That's a tank. That was fast.
Hey, you know, do not judge a pro, man. But seems like the Hunter Strike did give him a little bit more very, very early value, and he is going to scale with the gold plating on top of it. Barely 5 minutes game, gets the full gold plating, and also the tier 1 in the vicinity for Team Laos. Team Myanmar, they need to play this safe. They need to figure a way to deal with the Fanny as of yet. As you can see, Jasmine giving a lot of information, but seems like they are going to look for the invade angle. So baits out for the team, but that's a little bit too aggressive, and he is going to give his life on towards the hands of the Derov.
Yeah, speaking of the Durov, I have not seen a lot of rotation coming in from him. That was a very nice ultimate coming in from Jack, but there was no one there that saw what he did, so there was no
follow-up. It's just so unfortunate. Oh, that was just so unfortunate. But now, to visit that, he is going to try and buy a little bit more time, but the Derov doesn't really care about the sustains. He is going to able to chunk his way through, so it's all about the bursting potential, and slowly but surely, PS is starting to build up his economy. He's got 3-0-1, and eventually when he hits a little bit higher level 11, potentially, he is going to be able to one-shot almost anyone from side Team Laos.
Yeah, Laos, they have to respect that Dyrov can actually lower your armor. So even though, Grok, I saw Grok building towards a Blade of Despair, but it's still not gonna be enough. And right now, they engage onto Beno, but he was able to use his Purify, so he was able to escape with his life, but the turret can't say the same.
Yep, and the middle lane as well. Not exactly sure what Lexi was thinking, and he's gonna be picked off. Okay, so that's a big pickoff coming from Myanmar, because as of yet, that is gonna put them in a very comfortable position. And PS, oh my goodness, drops the low, and Gumi goes in for the snipe and takes Distant out.
Yeah, right now it looks like Laos, they need to slow down and actually talk with each other. It's like, all right, guys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it well. So everyone go ABC formation, Zeta, Alpha, Beta. Because right now, they're a little bit all over the place, because just now, we can see that PS had a very easy time over there. And right now, looking at the side of Myanmar, there's 3 people there, and Laos just waiting and waiting when they can re-engage.
Agreed, but seems like the arrow connecting from side Team Laos, they are going to be able to punish on towards Atlas, and now here comes the Fanny as too easy for Lexi. Is going to find another one. PS does have the damage on the Zero, but you can see too easy for Lexi is starting to feel the brunt of it, and he is going to be respecting PS a little bit more compared to before.
Yeah, you got to be careful, especially since that Darov has Assassin emblem. So there is a lot of penetration there. So don't underestimate. He might actually have to make one armor item. Like, even though Darov can shred it, but a little bit more. You know, you just need a little bit of sustainability there. And right now, Myanmar, they're looking for it. Can Black actually get anyone? And looks like no, that's not going to be the situation.
Well, Black now looking for the opportunity. He does have the Fatal Links as well. Cone still comes in. Black does count that out as well, but he is going to wall charge and go away. So great wall charge with this engage. However, like I said as well, no follow-up from Team Laos. But as you can see, the hesitancy coming from Team Laos just because they do lack a lot of CC to chain their way through. It's only the Grok for the follow-up. So there's nothing much you can do. And Team Laos, they can come on top if they manage to get an isolated fight. But guess what? Benmo getting a little bit aggressive. Real manipulation comes in, but the real world manipulation is going to be able to chip through Distant as well, because now the rest of Laos is going to be coming in as well to try and fight this out. The Fanny completely shreds them away, but it's not going to be enough. They just don't have enough damage to change their way through, as Myanmar slowly coming up on top with this trade-off. Arrow doesn't seem to connect. Gumi is going to be alive, but this Grok is doing a lot of work. Gumi, last thing, it was the last health. He is going to be able to trade 1-for-1. Now, it's going to be a battle between the mage, but nope, not anymore. This is no longer a fair fight, but the sprint is going to keep him alive as he escapes out the vicinity of Lexi.
That was unfortunate. Lexi was there. He was like, you know what? I got you. There's nowhere for you to go. There's nowhere for you to run. But then at that very moment, the purple buff, the wall actually came up, so he cannot fly through. So it's unfortunate if you're from Laos. It's fortunate if you're from the side of Myanmar, but
you hate to see it, man.
You hate to see it. You really do. At that point, Lexi was like, come on, are you serious? Like, come on. but honestly, like, it was quite a messy team fight in my personal opinion. Especially, like, I would have to say, Laos, with the tools that they have, they should really focus on getting the Beatrix as early as possible, because we can see in that team fight with 4 or 5 people there, the Beatrix was one of the later heroes that was focused on. So I kind of feel like they really need to start focusing on who they should prioritize instead of just spray and pray, you know? Like, really focus on Beatrix. Once Beatrix is not there, then it's really up to you what you want to do next.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's extremely difficult to actually go for this kind of plays. I agree that focusing on the Beatrix is important, but the difference between the compositions coming from Laos and Myanmar is that Myanmar, they have a lot of AoE CC control to actually stop this kind of plays. Whereas from the side of Laos, they're looking for, like you said as well, individual pickoffs, individual fights. If they win that 1v1s, it's all good. And we've seen time and time again that Too Easy for Lexi is always looking for the opportunity to go in for this 1v1 fights. They force major out spells, and then as soon as Myanmar drops in, he goes in, comes in, tries to get a couple of kills, which initially works out. But like I said as well, the only threat for him is the Dirov matchup.
Yeah, Laos, the way that their composition works, the win condition that they have, if they could actually snowball, this would be a very, very one-sided game. It's very hard for you to actually come back from a situation where Clint is like one item ahead. He's gonna burst anyone. It doesn't matter if you're a tank, if you're an XP laner or any of the such. But seeing how Myanmar can actually delay this much, actually slow down the game, it looks like both of these nations, they're working with equal gold, equal EXP. So Laos is actually losing steam over here. They're losing the momentum. They're slowly losing their own win condition unless Myanmar themselves put themselves in a unfavorable situation where they lose a team fight or any of the such, and then Laos could just end the game very, very quickly. But as of right now, I would say Myanmar is ahead.
Yeah, I feel like it is true in terms of experience and decision naming as well. I feel like Myanmar, all they gotta do is just drag this long enough towards the later stage of the game where most Fanny power spike do tentatively drop significantly compared to early stage of the game. Definitely the go-to strategy as well. Dirov is going to scale even harder too, regardless of what happened as well. So you can see there's a lot of stalling coming from Myanmar to make sure that the Dirov is starting to come online. So it makes a lot of sense what they're doing, right? Prolong. They are going to come online. Beatrix is going to completely outscale anyone. So I'm liking the decision making, but what I'm not liking is the execution.
Execution from Myanmar or Laos?
Myanmar.
Oh, interesting.
Just because of how the draft. They forced the draft and we did not expect. You know what? What's the one hero that can scale in late game? It was the Dirov. But at the same time, they had to sacrifice whatever strategy they had just to drag this out into the late game.
Okay. To be fair. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna bring up my notes and let me just okay. Chapter 5-2. Yeah, it does say here that PS, he does use Dirov quite often. So this actually might be a situation where it is one of his pocket picks. It's just that this is one of the situations where he was pushed to actually use it. I agree that in terms of the early game, I don't really see his name pop up too much.
He can't. He was struggling to get a jungle. And you can see that he was just dodging.
Yeah, but now it's like, even when Fanny is flying towards him, when he's able to hit his enhanced basic attack, even Fanny is like, wow, wow. I'm gonna avoid you for a while. I'm gonna wait for you to get out of the picture, and then I'm gonna go after the marksman / mage, whoever is available.
Exactly. So there's just so many more priority targets, right? So the best way is drag this as long as possible. Don't force fight. That's gonna be the best way coming from the Dirov. You know, getting those initial bursts. If you can tank the initial burst coming from Fanny, I don't know, eventually you're going to be able to two-tap a Fanny. Unless the Fanny goes for like immortality, even an additional brute force breastplate to actually sustain his way through, then it's a different story.
Yeah, it's just because from the side of Laos, they don't have, I would say, they don't have a point-and-click stun, right? Because Selena, yes, has a stun, and the stun is amazing. It's a long-range stun, and it can last for until tomorrow, but it's gonna be very difficult for you to actually hit your stun when everyone is moving around. If it's able to actually be done, then great, amazing. Laos will look so good. But I think that's one of the problems, is that it's not a reliable stun. It's not a point and click. If it's able to hit, great. But if it's not, then the team fight will look, as what we saw before, a little bit messy, coming in from both sides.
I definitely agree. They just don't have enough follow-ups, right? It's all about the split push potential. They're doing the right thing, but at the same time, they just can't pick a fight. Atlas goes in for a fatal link, boom, disaster. One emphasis strike, gone. So it's all about that one perfect catch. It's a lot of emphasis on Black from the side of Myanmar to go in for play. From Laos side, it's a lot of emphasis for 2Zs for Lexi to actually win the game. So I feel like all in all, it's all about rock, paper, scissors. Who makes the wrong move, we capitalize with it. And so far, this adaptation from Laos is amazing. But now the next step for Team Laos is baby steps of closing out the game.
You're talking about rock, paper, scissors. If we're talking about rock, paper, scissors, we have to talk about Grok. That was an easy segue. Grok, he has an AoE, crowd control, knock up, and a lot of damage. If they actually push Myanmar to stay in the jungle, where it's very, very, very small space for them to run away, and then Jack just wild charge up there, everyone gets knocked up. That's a super good situation for Laos to take advantage of. It's just that they actually have to do it because the way that we see, Jack is going to go way in front just to open the map, just so that he has a lot of vision, but not really in a situation where he can set up for his team because everyone else is just so far away.
Yeah, I definitely can see where this is happening as well. They've got the Grok that is just so good and opening up the map. But the problem with the Grok is that the matchup is I would say arguably an Esmeralda, which obviously they don't exactly have enough damage to chunk an Esmeralda. If you think about it, they're off easy. But an Esmeralda is the later stage of the game. Fanny can't exactly do too much against Esmeralda. Grok doesn't necessarily can do anything about it. Selena Arrow, definitely a good point in guard, but aside from that, which also, like I said, scales into his later stage game really, really badly. It scales down completely two heroes that are really, really, really weak in the later stage, Selena and Fanny. So if they don't close this game within the next 5 minutes, especially for Team Laos, it's a comeback coming for Team Myanmar based on the draft itself.
This is why I like Laos's draft, but also this is the problem. It's just because I like interesting games. Because Laos, they put a pick and ban. They put a draft that is very high risk, high reward. If they do well in the early game, it's so fun to watch just because a lot of things is happening at the same time on screen. So that's amazing to watch. But again, if you do not hit your stride, if you don't get that perfect start, because there's a lot of what ifs.
Yeah.
A lot of what ifs. What if Selena gets the stun? What if Fanny can kill 2 people off in just a few
cables?
Yeah. What if Grok can hit 3 or 4 people with his wild charge?
Technically, we did see it.
Yeah.
Technically, we did see the
but
wild
no one
charge.
was there. It's kind of like you doing something cool, but your friend is not there to see it. You know?
Oh, that's kind of sad.
It is kind of sad, and
that is kind of sad.
That is very sad. But in this situation, Laos still has the opportunity for that to happen because eventually people will want to go for the Lord, right? Lord is in the riverside.
Oh yeah.
I would not say that's the best place for a Grok ult just because there's a lot of space. Everyone can go everywhere. But if for some reason in Myanmar, they're all grouped up together and Grok is able to hit a lot of people at once, there is a chance.
Yep.
There is a chance, but still it's a pretty slim chance because I feel like Myanmar, their draft is so much more safer that I kind of doubt that thing will happen. But if it does happen, then I'm gonna react quite wildly to it because that's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But I don't know. It feels like anything can happen right now. And based on the situation that they are facing in Soviet, they need to figure out. They have to plan on the spot. They need to close out the game in 5 minutes, or the game is pretty much over. Myanmar on the other side, they need to stall more than 5 minutes and then get enough items to tank the burst coming from Fanny, especially coming from Squishies. And what I mean by Squishies is the Yi, the Beatrix as well, to be able to sustain this through. Because eventually, Beatrix, once to the later stage game, to 1 or 2 auto attacks from the SMG itself is going to be able to chunk the Fanny down health. 1 punch from the Dirov is gone. The Fanny completely lose all reasoning to actually continue with his cables.
Yeah, we're actually talking about all of the what ifs that Laos can win, but I do kind of feel, again, Myanmar, with the composition that they have, with the pace that is going right now, not gonna lie, I kind of feel like Myanmar, they have the high ground. They can force situations. They can force Laos to be like, if you don't respond, it's gonna be even worse for you. Because if Myanmar gets the Lord, what can they really do? Because Selena cannot clear the lane fast.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Fanny, if you want to clear fast, you're gonna do your cables, but then eventually you're not gonna have a lot of energy. And if you're stuck in the middle of the lane away from your own base and you don't have enough energy, then that's just basically giving yourself over to your enemy.
Well,
So
technically, they still have the Clint, so...
yeah, but it's one of the situations Clint wants to clear, and then Black with the Atlas, when he has the flicker, yeah, Clint, come over here. Come over, I want to introduce you to my friends.
Yeah, true.
So either way, once
what kind of friends are you talking about? That's so...
No, Myanmar is like, okay, I have an Atlas.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring Clint. It's like, hey, come meet my friends.
All right.
Specifically, Dairoff.
Oh.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
So right now, Myanmar...
PGU. Okay. I get it.
Myanmar is just... Once they have a Lord, it's gonna be a lot of pressure on Laos. That how are they gonna defend? That's the point that I'm trying to bring up. It's a roundabout way of me bringing it up, but the point is there, and I'm happy that I talked about it.
Yeah, for sure. I get where you're coming from, because eventually it's all about teamwork. It's all about making friends, and it's really tough to see what they can do, because eventually they have a lot of games to go. So based on this technical issue, it seems like they have to ensure that everything needs to be run smoothly before the end of the day. We are seeing a lot more games to come, but by the end of today, there is at least 3 to 4 games to happen for all the other teams that is going to be happening as of yet.
Yeah, it's going to be a very long day. So all of our athletes from all the nations, they need to pace themselves well, because first series of the game, we've watched Malaysia against Philippines, right now Myanmar against Laos, and everyone is pushing, I would say, almost to their limit. And doing this over and over again against 3 separate opponents, against 2 separate opponents, it can be very taxing, both physically as well as mentally, especially as we've touched on over and over again. It just takes one mistake to really push you over the edge. So early stages of the game, we can see that the athletes would play at their best. I'm worried about what will happen throughout the day when, even if they don't admit to themselves, they are exhausted.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Team Laos is at a deficit as well, because right after this match, regardless of who wins, they are going to be jumping into the match against Team Philippines, who also has an upper hand on, hey, that's your comfort picks. Oh, I know you can play your Fanny, which will potentially be the night in towards the later stage of the games itself. So Team Philippines, arguably one of the strong contenders, especially for game number 1. It's going to be watching this match very patiently to see who is going to be the winners of this match, because regardless of what happens, they are going to be facing both of these teams by the end of the day. So this is a great time for Team Philippines to study both their opponents in their drafts, in their compositions, as well as what is their comfort picks in that regards.
Playing back to back, going up against Myanmar, and then afterwards going against Team Philippines. It's not an easy route for Laos right now, but this is the competition. Like, no matter what, a lot of adversaries will be in front of you, and it's how you handle them that really counts. And again, we talked about this. This is for their nation. They're playing for their flag. They're playing for their people. But either way, Laos up against Myanmar. Everyone's main goal for today, of course, everyone wants the gold medal. They want a gold medal.
Oh yeah.
They want silver and bronze, but we have to think about today first.
Okay,
they need to be
like I
top
said,
2.
it's all about baby steps, right?
Baby steps.
Take it slow.
I
take
see
it
baby
easy.
1-2 steps.
Yes, absolutely. Take step 1, take 2 steps, and then eventually reach towards the goal. Because eventually, it all comes down to execution. Team Laos, they messed up game number 1. It's not their fault. It was pretty much outdrafted.
Yep.
Game 2, adaptations was good, but they need a lot of early aggression.
Yeah.
They did a fantastic job early phase of the goal. They were able to slow down the Dairoff, but eventually they need to close out the game, because, like I said as well, late game is where Team Myanmar is going to shine. However, without further ado, we finally got the game on the road. We're jumping straight to the game, and how
dare you lie to me?
Well,
come on, Terrence. Like, right now, looking at the games, right? I'm pretty sure even the athletes themselves, they have a lot going through their mind, because Laos, they understand the situation. Myanmar understands the situation, and this is one of those things where they're really tested on their mental stability, because at any moment they could just like lose focus and then go back to the games like, wait, what's our plan again? Let's hope that does not happen.
Yeah, sometimes
That will happen to me. I'm that kind of person.
I would
Right?
too. I would too. And any normal human being would be able
I'm
to
easily
completely...
distracted. I'm looking at you and I'm distracted. Wow.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
That
or
is a
it gonna be-
compliment.
All right, I'll take it as a
That
compliment.
is a compliment.
Or is it
That is a compliment. Speaking
All
of
right.
compliments, right now, Myanmar against Laos. I feel like Laos, the way that they can win is if they do something that Myanmar doesn't expect. Like if they have a crazy flank where suddenly the Selena is at the back line, imagine Black, right, with his Atlas, he goes up and it's like, I'm gonna catch a lot of people. And then he goes out, it's like, wait, there's just 1 or 2 people here. Where are the rest? And it's like, oh, the Fanny is at behind, Selena is at behind, and then like, oh wait, but I'm the tank and I'm in front and my team is at the back. And then that just creates space for Laos to... All I'm saying is they need to do something that Myanmar can expect. Like Myanmar, after watching 4,065 things possibly happen, and then Laos did the 4,066 thing, then that's a Doctor Strange reference. I'm just saying, yeah.
You do realize I've not watched it.
No, Infinity War. It's Infinity War. That was years ago.
Don't remember it.
Don't do this to me. We will have a talk after this, Terrence.
No.
We will have... No, it's...
Okay,
that was years ago.
So the reason why I don't want to have a talk about it is because you guys and the rest on the not production, the colleagues, the other casters, has spoiled me enough with a lot of information that I cannot focus on my game at all.
I want to focus on the game. So we just talked about distraction. We got distracted. Let's not get distracted, Terrence. Focus on the game. Laos and Myanmar. Myanmar has 1 point ahead of Laos. Laos is in the back foot. They want to win this.
Yeah. What Myanmar have 1 game. You know, if they get 2-0, they get 3 points.
Then they're at the same position as Philippines.
Yes, if they get 1-1, both get a point each, technically.
Yes, and that would mean that Malaysia is down in the standings.
Yes, absolutely. And then Malaysia's gotta, fight back.
They gotta push through because this is a competition.
Agreed.
Like, it's not over until someone comes to you and says it's over. It's over. And asks you to pack your bags and stuff.
That's kind of deep, but yeah. That's kind of deep.
Yeah, as long as you're on stage, it's not over. It's never over as long as you're on stage. So just don't get out of the stage.
Well, without further ado, we're finally back into the game. See? They're on stage. They're ready. Let's go.
Yeah, speaking of which, right now the Lord is up for contention, and right now Myanmar, they have the optimal position over here. Laos, they are looking to actually react. Black is looking for as many people that he can catch, and Black is taking a lot of damage. Fanny is off to the side, and right now looks like Myanmar, they choose not to engage because they feel they lost a lot of HP actually. They can't push this.
This is smart. You know, the whole point is just to stall and then outscale the Fanny eventually, because if you think about it, Too Easy for Hexy is like level 13 and Derok is only level 12. They can force a couple of fights, but you can see Team Laos, they're splitting up their forces to try to go for a split push potential, but eventually as the game goes by, they technically can't force the fight, but now Too Easy for Hexy going to the fight against Gumi, almost getting the kill, means there is going to be the reset coming in. However, on the bottom side here, they are going to force the fight, knowing that the Fanny is nowhere to be found. Myanmar looking for the fight. The Fatal Link comes in, and the Real Manipulation completely takes Bistan out of the equation, and this is exactly what Team Myanmar has been eyeing for.
Yeah, Myanmar, they just got a lot of mistakes coming in from the side of Laos, and right now they are engaging. PS is dealing a lot of damage. And look at that damage coming in from Gumi. Right now, Myanmar, they are doing a lot, but the Fanny is trying to get PS. PS with just a sliver of health. What can he do? He's gonna retreat. But it looks like Jack, he wants to take care of the situation. He wants to get the kill, but he's indecisive. And right now he's won. He's alone against the rest from the side of Myanmar. He has to use his ultimate to run away. But as of right now, Myanmar, they are controlling the map. Jack, there's really nowhere for you to go. And a mega kill is going over to the Eve. And right now, it looks like Uranus is gonna follow suit. He's trying to run away. He is able to. And right now, Alexi, he just got caught. He's trying to run away using the steel cables. He was able to, but that was a very, very, very dangerous situation. And he manages to get the Matrix out of nowhere.
Oh, that is huge coming from him. Just Forbidden as well, getting slowed down. But this is a Uranus with a lot of sustainability. But Team Myanmar, they can't seem to finish him off. And who can blame him? It seems like they are going to be focusing a lot, but the Fanny comes in. Oh no, misses the cable. He's 1 second away, and that is going to be him missing out on the action. However, he's not too happy about the situation. Lexi forced up all the cables, doesn't have the purple buff. PS takes advantage and goes in for the one punch. Goodbye, Fanny.
Yeah, and right now, again, for the side of Laos, they have to be careful because looking at the KDA right now, unfortunately, the Clint 0-3-0 hasn't been able to get any kills under his belt. Although, looking at the items, he can deal a lot of damage. He has the Blade of Despair, he has the Malefic Roar as well. So even if the enemy has armor, he can rip it, but looking at the situation, he can't even go in front because Black is always looking for him. And right now, Black, he has the flicker. So it's very dangerous just for you to go in front. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're Soul, whether you're Biston. It's going to be a very, very tricky situation because you want to evade the Atlas, but at the same time, you do want to dish out the damage. So, you know, what are you going to do, really?
Yeah, I get it. You know, it's all about waiting for opportunities, but this is go type of Myanmar, and they are going to be able to isolate the fight, knowing Team Laos can't exactly stop all this aggression. The pretty much who can stop him is Jack. And this Graf cannot afford to lose. He needs to set up with the Fanny, but look at this in the minimap as well. It seems like the split push coming too easy for Lexi is going to force them to actually concede this inhibitor. They need the Fanny here and now, but Team Myanmar, they don't care. As long as the Fanny doesn't go super crazy, we're good. We group up as 5, we are good. Now, the wall block comes in, is going to actually help Team Myanmar.
Yeah, looks like what Lexi was trying to do. He secured the purple ball from Myanmar's side, and looking at the itemization right now, the Fanny has the Hunter Strike as well as Blade of Heptacy, so he could one-shot the Beatrix as well as the Eve, especially because they do not have any type of armor at all. But getting to them seems to be quite a difficult task, just because even if he managed to get there, there's a lot that he has to consider. Where PS is there, he's gonna deal a lot of damage. He has a lot of penetration right now. So either way, I feel like Lexi has to almost give up his life. Like, as long as he gets the Beatrix, if he can get Eve as well, that's great. It's like, all right, I sacrifice my own life and then just trust my team to finish up.
Yep, I definitely agree. PS as well going to be making work on towards his immortality to stay alive in the upcoming fights. Black now going to be having the Blade armor to deal with Biston later on. This is the exact same scenario we've seen in game number 1, but Myanmar, they are going to be looking to fight. War Charge has been expanded, means no CCs and crowd control from the side of Team Laos, as they are going to be fighting for now. Demon Hunter Sun Abon Gumi means that the Uranus as well as the Graf is going to have a very, very difficult time if they do not have those Blade of Despair up later on.
Yeah, right now, Laos... Actually, you know what? If they can manage a split push, just like Fanny just pushed the side lanes, it could actually work, just because from the side of Myanmar, they do seem like they wanted to go team fight, right? But if that does happen, the Fanny must be able to actually win a 1v1. Right now, we're looking at Myanmar. They are starting up the Lord. And look at Lexi. Lexi is going behind, trying to catch anyone off guard. But the thing is, right now, Minnow is there. And Black managing to get Jack, not exactly the target that he wants. Biston is at the back line. No one is touching him at all. And right now, looks like Myanmar and Laos, they're like, you know what? We're not going to follow suit. And Lexi, he has to look at Beatrix is there. Beatrix is trying to push. Is that the right move to do?
That is so smart. He's going to get a free inhibitor on top of it all. Yes, he is going to lose his life. However, he gets the pop. He did not lose the fight. What? Jack completely gets popped off just like that. And Team Myanmar played it to its finest, and beautiful stuff coming in from Team Myanmar. And on top of it all, Benno seems to be unkillable as of yet with this Esmeralda.
I'm sorry, I was half expecting for the Grot to just one-shot. And all of a sudden that happened, and Myanmar, they do not want to stop. Now Black going over, only managing to get Uranus, the only target that he doesn't want. But it looks like Myanmar, they're like, you know what, this is not a good situation. Let's retreat. We already have the Lord that's going for a 5v5. And now Lexi is there. Lexi trying to get a kill. It did not manage to get what he wants. Uranus has been pushed down, going back to the base, and he's not going to respawn in another 35 seconds.
Yep, you can see the Lord is going to be blocking now as well. As you can see, Team Laos, they're going to try and buy enough time for the Lord push, but it is going to going to be the Crystal push coming in. And Team Myanmar, they want to close up the game. They lose Black in the process, but it seems like Team Myanmar, they're going to go all in with the Crystal, and that is going to be game coming from Team Myanmar as they convincingly close out game number 2 despite the early oppression coming from Team Laos.
Yeah, right now, Myanmar managing to get a 2-0. Their points is the same as Philippines, and with that, Laos actually has the same points as Malaysia as well. So as of right now, how the grouping is looking like is very, very spicy. And you just had to remind me, after this, we're going to watch Philippines going up against Laos. So they have, in my opinion, quite a short time to readjust.